BMW's first Mini Cooper had big boots to fill, but then it also had bigger feet. Yes, the Mini hatchback that arrived in 2000 was a great deal bigger than the 41-year-old Rover-badged car it replaced, but it retained many of the original's most appealing characteristics, from direct steering to an agile chassis and, of course, retrospective styling. That Minis have subsequently grown even further in size, and their once-and-neat styling has become a parody of itself, makes the early car even more appealing. They're inexpensive to buy, starting at around $1,000 for an average Cooper, and great fun in any form. Mini Cooper in detail. The Mini had a fairly long gestation, with development beginning in the hands of Rover in 1995, while under ownership by BMW. Designed by Frank Stevenson, now director of design at McLaren, there was never any doubt as to what Rover and BMW's new Super Mini was supposed to be, and the retrospective vibe continued inside, with a simple two-spoke steering wheel and, most notably, a centrally mounted speedometer. A 1.6-litre, Brazilian-built and Chrysler-designed four-cylinder petrol sat underneath the enormous clamshell bonnet. That bonnet housed the headlights, too, and produced a modest 113 bhp with 110 pounds-feet of torque. Thankfully, Minis were still relatively light at this stage, 1,050 kilograms for an early Cooper, so a sub-10 sec 062 mph time was still on the cards, and a slick 5-speed manual gearbox made going up and down the ratios one of the Mini's small joys. Coopers started at £11,600 in 2001, while a less powerful and less expensive Mini 1 was also available, but the supercharged Cooper S £14,500 was the car to bring even greater excitement to the Mini range, with 161 bhp and a characterful whine from the supercharger, greater than. Click here for our review of the Mini John Cooper Works. Excitement was boosted further by official John Cooper Works versions of both cars. Unlike today's JCW models, the early Works cars were actually developed at John Cooper garages, run by John's son Mike Cooper. There was old-school tuning involved, with a ported and polished cylinder head, and freer-flowing intake and exhaust systems to take power to 130 bhp. Not a huge increase, but it made the Cooper more enthusiastic at higher revs and bumped up the fun factor accordingly. Available later, the Cooper S Works boasted 197 bhp. The power kits weren't cheap, £2,408 fitted for the Cooper, £3,010 for the S, but both were officially sanctioned by BMW. 2004 saw a facelift, while 2006 heralded the hardcore Mini John Cooper Works GP. The GP got a pair of Recaro seats up front, while the rear pews were discarded entirely in favour of a brace bar between the rear strut tops. There was less sound deadening material too, and claimed weight savings of 50 kilograms compared to a standard Cooper S. Power climbed to 215 bhp, and at 6.5 sec to 62 miles per hour it was among the quickest hot hatches of the time. Cooper S Works GP engine 1598 cc, inline 4 CYL 1598 cc, inline 4 CYL, supercharged 1598 cc, inline 4 CYL, supercharged max power 113 bhp at 6000 revolutions per minute, 168 bhp at 6000 revolutions per minute, 215 bhp at 7100 revolutions per minute, max torque 110 pounds-feet at 4,500 revolutions per minute, 155 bhp at 4,000 revolutions per minute, 184 pounds-feet at 4,600 revolutions per minute, weight 1,050 kilograms, 1,140 kilograms, 1,090 kilograms, power to weight 109 bhp ton, 143 bhp ton, 200 bhp ton, 062 mph, 9.2 sec claimed, 7.2 sec claimed, 6.5 sec claimed, top speed 124 miles per hour claimed, 135 miles per hour claimed, 149 miles per hour claimed. What we said. Mini Cooper Evo 033 July 1st. John Barker. It's a pretty ordinary sounding engine, reasonably refined at tick over and tightened together up to 5,000 revolutions per minute. Throttle response is clean. If you didn't know, you'd never guess. It was drive-by-wire, but there's not much edge to its low-speed delivery. It'd be surprised if the Cooper cracked 9 seconds to 60 miles per hour, and it would be a pretty raucous affair because at the top end the engine becomes rather thrashy. It's a shame the Cooper isn't more gutty because it's every bit as chokeable and poised as you'd hope. It feels good the moment you pull away, with a solid, big car feel in the encouraging sense that all the weight is concentrated below hip level. The Cooper rides rough sections with sporting suppleness, letting you feel connected but filtering out the sharp edges, and it flicks from camber to camber, apex to apex, with a precision and composure that inspires trust. Greater than click here for our review of the Mini Cooper Image 2 of 17 Image 2 of 17 Mini Cooper S Evo 043 May 2nd. John Barker. With its considerable torque advantage, the Cooper S hauls through the lower gears with much more conviction, of course, but a close ratio box would surely have suited it better. Even so, BMW claims the S hits 62 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds. To be honest, it feels good for it. That's the thing about the Cooper S, you expect more low rev urgency, you think it should have shorter gearing, and yet at the end of a long day spent thrashing it up and down some great roads, you can't help but conclude that it's a superb little car that's a whole heap more satisfying than the stock Cooper. Steer into a turn and the S seems to pivot around a stake driven through the center of the dashboard, biting into the road and slicing hard for the apex. There's no obvious roll, no slip, the car just turns. Greater than click here for our review of the Mini Cooper S Image 13 of 17 Image 13 of 17 Mini Cooper S Works GP, Evo 094 August 6, Jethro Bovingdon. At low speeds it's familiar mini quick steering, strong torque, stiff, flat ride. Over ragged tarmac the GP shows some subtle differences. It's still firm but somehow it feels more rounded, less likely to skip over sharp ridges and bounce the car offline. Sounds great, too. The 1.6-litre supercharged engine revs with all the intensity of a little screamer, but the strong torque means you don't have to stir the sweet shifting 6-speed box to make quick progress. There's a bit more roll than it expected, but that allows the 20,540 Dunlop's tread blocks to lock into the surface and hook the nose into the apex. Jump on the power as you feel it settle, and the standard limited slip diff transmits all 218 bhp to the road with immense composure, steering wheel gently writhing in your hands. Greater than click here for our review of the Mini John Cooper Works Challenge. What to pay? Mini Cooper R50 excellent £3,000, good £2,000, average £1,500, project £500. Mini Cooper R53 excellent £5,000, good £3,000, average £2,000, project £1,000.